This is Casey Anthony. At one point in time, she was the #1 suspect for the murder of her 2-year-old daughter, Caylee. Casey had Caylee at 19 years old in Orlando, Florida, but she says that she doesn't know who the father was because the pregnancy was a result of SA at a party while she was unconscious. So she raised Caylee as a single mother while she lived with her parents, George and Cindy. But one day, Caylee went missing. She was last seen alive June 16th, 2008. But here's where things get twisted. No one realized that Caylee was missing because Casey never said anything. She never said anything to her parents. She didn't report her missing to the police. And anytime Casey was asked about it, she always had an excuse. She always said that she was with her, the nanny. Pay attention because this is going to come up later. This goes on for 30 days. Keep in mind, Caylee is 2. And anyone who has had experience with a 2-year-old will tell you that you can't go 30 seconds without knowing their whereabouts, let alone 30 days. Meanwhile, during those 30 days, Casey was out living her best life. She was out spending a lot of time with her boyfriend, Tony. She was seen shopping. She was out partying. And I'm not talking about like once or twice. She was out clubbing. Keep in mind that this is all while her 2-year-old daughter is missing. She even goes and gets this tattoo. It says Bella Vita, which in Italian translates beautiful life, while her 2-year-old daughter is missing. One day, Cindy and George were alerted that their car had been impounded because Casey abandoned it in a parking lot. When they went to pick it up, they said that there was a strong odor to it, like decaying flesh, like a dead body. After this happens, Casey finally goes home. And it's now at this point that she finally tells her parents that she has not seen Caylee in a month. And the reason she gave them was that the nanny had her and the nanny was refusing to give Caylee back. And Casey says that she refused to tell police because she was afraid that the nanny would hurt Caylee if she did. So Cindy, a month later, calls police. Police do an investigation of both the nanny and Universal Studios Florida. They go to Universal Studios Florida to interview Casey's coworkers. And the police find out that not only had Casey been lying to them, but she had also not been to work in 2 years. She had also been lying to them, giving them false information and false leads. So they arrested her. It was at this point that this had become national news. Casey had become the most hated mother in the country. Meanwhile, a utility worker had been doing some work in a wooded area near the Anthony home. And in the woods, he discovers a bag with skeletal remains. And it was later confirmed that that was the remains of Caylee Anthony. So now we have fuel on this crazy hot trial. It was already getting national attention, but now it's like an O.J. Simpson level shit show. Keep in mind that this is like the early days of social media. So this is when memes started to appear. People didn't even know what memes were. People didn't even know how to pronounce memes. We weren't sure if it was a meme or a meme or a mimi. This was the first trial that was streamed on Twitter. So you can just imagine the outrage and the attention. 40 million people tuned into the trial. Casey was already the most hated mother in the country. Prosecutors started showing picture after picture of her partying and clubbing, receipts of her going on shopping sprees, evidence of her and Tony spending lots of time together, the tattoo, and all of the witnesses who were asking about Caylee's whereabouts during the 30 days. So then the defense comes in, and not only do they say that Caylee died in the family pool, but they also say that George was the one that hid Caylee's body. They also went on to say that George was abusive towards Casey growing up. All of this was proven to be false. But despite all of the evidence, the pictures, the car, the duct tape, the lies, Casey Anthony was found not guilty. People were outraged. There was then a push for a law in Caylee's name, making it illegal to not report your children when they're missing. And Casey ends up going to jail for a short period of time for lying to police. But she only goes to jail for about 10 days because she had time served while she was waiting trial. Fast forward to 2025, Casey Anthony is now on social media as a law advocate. She says that she's a legal advocate, a researcher, and has been in the legal field since 2011. She says that she wants to use this platform that was thrust upon her, and she now sees it as a blessing as opposed to the curse that it's been since 2008.